You thought that was for Ruth's first go at it.
Beautiful. Definitely a career in there for you. So,
Gloria, we have masses of questions and calls for you now. Right. So why don't we start with one from the studio here? Katie's got a question for you first of all. Where are you, Katie?
Where do you get the ideas for your songs from?
Well, actually, just from life itself. You know, you live and you feel certain emotions and things go through your mind. Sometimes they're very much about a personal experience. Sometimes you get an idea and then somehow the idea takes on a life of its own, kind of like her film, and then you go on with it. You don't try to change it, but definitely from life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, on to the telephones now. And line one. Sarah is on line one. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Off you go.
Gloria, I was wondering, do you think your music has got better or changed in any way since you split from Miami Sound Machine?
Oh, well, actually, Miami Sound Machine is still with me. The only difference is that on the records themselves, the guys that do, for example, the two of the guys in the band, Clay and George, produce, so they get individual credit. But when I'm on the road, Miami Sound Machine definitely is still with me. But through the years, your music changes. I think as you get older and live more things, hopefully you evolve and your music grows with you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed for that.
Right, let's take a question from Alex. Where's Alex?
Which audience do you prefer, the Spanish or the English?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, most of my audiences are very much mixed. And they tend to, wherever in the world I go, they tend to react the same way. Everywhere in the show that, for example, if there's a reaction where everybody laughs, they laugh everywhere, whether they understand the language or not. And I think that's the most beautiful thing that I see in music, that the things that tie us together as human beings. So really there's not much difference, and I like performing to any audience, whether they speak English or Spanish or neither of the two.
Because it did take a little bit of a while to sort of break out of that community. You were absolutely massive in one area of the public, but in the other area, in the early days, nobody knew you.
Exactly. We would go to Latin America and do a stadium with 50,000 people and come back home and do a wedding with 300 when we were starting in Miami. So I think it gives you a good idea of what fame is about, though. So it was good.
All right, thanks for that. And back onto the telephones now. And it's line two. Good morning, line two. Let's put a name to you. Who's there?
It's Katie.
Hi, Katie.
I was wondering, was there anything special that helped you during your accident?
Oh, there were many things that helped me. My family, who stayed with me every moment, and my husband didn't leave my side for 3 months, actually. My son was very helpful. And just wanting to get back to my regular life and being able to do normal things that people do, just like walk and dress myself, was really a good motivator for me. And my music helped me through a lot too. It was very therapeutic, almost as much as the exercising. Being able to go in the studio and record and write songs, that in itself helped me quite a bit. Thanks, Katie.
Motivator. Thank you very much. Now, Janet. Where's Janet?
How do you think the press treats stars like yourself?
Well, I'm very lucky with the press, actually. Sometimes you'll read some strange thing in the tabloids that you go, how did they get this story? But I'm very fortunate. They really are very kind with me, and I try to be open with them. So if they ever come, the paparazzis want to take a picture, I think the best thing to do is smile and, take the picture, because if you try to hide yourself, that's the picture that'll come out, you like this, So I'm very lucky that way.
Right, let's go back to the phones.
And line three, Sabrina.
Hi.
Hi, Sabrina.
I would like to be a pop star. What advice could you give me?
Ooh, that's a good question. Actually, the best advice I can give you, one is to prepare. Stay in school and get an alternate career just in case, so you can, so you don't have to be a starving artist, and you can be working while you're getting your tools sharpened. Another thing, if you want to be a singer, try to take lessons so that at least you can be the best you can be vocally, because it's a lot of hard work, and if you don't know how to do it the right way, you can hurt your voice. And then also have a lot of patience and perseverance. There'll always be people that tell you can never do it, but you have to believe in yourself. So always stick with what you feel is right, and hang in there no matter what anyone tells you.
Do you think you'd have done it if you hadn't met Emilio?
I think it would have been very tough for me to have had this career, because he was a real motivator, and I was very shy. So he would tell me, yes, you can do this, and he talked me into writing songs. I used to do a lot of poetry, and it never occurred to me to write songs. And from the first song, I recorded every one after that I wrote. and he would always say, yes, you can do this, you can do this. So he really motivated me. He helped a lot.
So you've got to have good friends as well.
Got to have good friends and somebody that believes in you to help you out.
Thanks for your call, Sabrina.
Thank you.
But you also practice what you preach as well when it comes to sort of saving up for a rainy day, because you bought a hotel and a restaurant, didn't you?
Oh, yes. You have to have other things, you know, just in
So you
case.
pop in there, you know, and you do a bit of waitressing and stuff.
Once in a while. If there's somebody special, yeah, I'll definitely bring over a bottle of wine or something. No, you know, the good thing about being able to move into other things is, you know, later on when you can't be shaking your body and doing the conga on stage, you still have to maintain, you know, your organization. And we definitely do other things investment-wise so that not all your eggs aren't in one basket. Right. And this career really needs that.
Sarah's got a question for you. She's right here.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, what's your strongest childhood memory?
Oh my gosh, there's so many that were really important to me. I'll tell you what, though, I really remember the very first time that I ever heard a song on the radio that made a big impression on me. My mom and I were driving up to a laundromat to wash the clothes, and I turned on the radio, and Ferry Cross the Mersey with Jerry and the Pacemakers, this is way before your time, came on. And I remember sitting there and I got goosebumps, you know, and then at the same time I smelled the laundry. And to this day, whenever I hear that song, I smell the laundry. You know, it was a very, very strong
As opposed
memory.
to the Mersey, I think.
Exactly. Most definitely. It was a very clean, dry smell, so yeah, I guess it's not the Mersey.
Do you find that you remember stuff like that, and that it had any sort of an influence on you whatsoever in the early days to get involved?
Music always has made me have physical reactions, you know, whether it makes your hair stand on end or makes me feel like crying or, you know, all of a sudden you feel this overwhelming love. And sometimes they are very much tied to physical things like a smell. When I hear the song Summer Breeze by Seals and Croft, I hear grass being mown, you know, fresh mown grass, because I remember the first time it made a big impression. So definitely it has a lot to do with, I think, influencing my life. And music just has that way of affecting me.
It's evocative. You have got some lovely prizes down here.
Oh, yes.
A tremendous competition,
Yes,
I know.
we've
Would you like to take us through the prizes?
All right, well, obviously, we've got a whole collection of CDs here from Live for Loving You, the greatest hits, many of these greatest hits albums, singles, Always Tomorrow. We have a video of Into the Light video, which is our world tour that spans many things from England here particularly. And we have some Always Tomorrow, the video. The Homecoming concert, this was from years ago. Oh, this was, you know what this is? We send out Christmas presents every year to radio stations and people that we love and our company. And this is what we made up this year. It's a mug. Gloria Estefan mug. If you drink coffee in this, you'll be awake for 3 days.
It'll keep warm in there, won't it? And a jacket.
Got a jacket here, and
yes.
we'll just be very quick.
Oh, that's
here.
a great one. Yes, a jacket from the tour.
And these as well. These are yours.
This is
You
a
win the
framed
competition.
poster. This is from
Gloria.
from the Go Away video, which is kind of like from 40s feel. And this is probably the most unique thing of all. This is a double platinum disc presented to me by my company Epic Sony, so someone can have this on their wall. And
What's your question?
the question, yes. What was the title of the very first hit we had in the UK?
Answers on a postcard to us here
years
at
ago.
Going Live. PO Box 8181, London W12 7SE, the first hit.
1985, I think that was. So.
Okay.
Gloria,
Thank
thanks
you,
so
Gloria.
much for being with us this
Thank you.
morning.
With
We
Sir
will see you
Ranulph
next
Fiennes
week.
next week on the programme,
We have-
back from the Polar Expedition.
Film buff Barry Norman will be here, that young funster.
Helen Worth, Gail Platt from Coronation Street is also up
Hooray,
here.
hooray! Music from Beloved and East 17.
And comedian Eric Idle will be joining us on the programme.
Paula Danziger has a terrific film about the author Judy Blume. We'll see you next week, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock.
Don't
be
miss
with
it.
us.
What's this? Oh, it's a sausage.
Oh, marvellous. No, it's a piece of
love it.
toast. Sausage. Not just sausage.
It's a soldier.
No. Like it's
I love it.